Hi, this is Eric from longboxreview.com. Welcome to another episode of The Gutters, my personal audio journal where I talk about things outside of the world of comics. This is March 25th, 2019 as I record this. So what's been going on with me? It's been a while since I've done one of these, and not a whole lot has been going on in my life. That's not true. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this, but mostly I was just putting up with the cold weather that we've been having. We had, after a long, well, it seemed like forever, really, because I really don't like the cold. I don't like snow. Just the whole concept of snow just really annoys me. I mean, it looks pretty and all, but man, after a few months of this, I was done. But it got pretty cold here where I live, dipping down into the single digits. I know, yeah, I'm whining. I know. Other people around the world are have it much worse than I have. But I don't know. The older I'm getting, the worse cold weather is affecting me, and just not liking it. But like I said, we had a respite finally here in March. We finally have temperatures in the 50s, even the upper 50s, as we did this last week. So I was very pleased about that. There's basically no snow on my front lawn anymore. I think it's all gone now. I still have a bunch of snow still in the backyard where it's not, where the sun doesn't shine as much. Which, maybe that tells you how much snow we had. Actually, the snow that I had been shoveling off of my sidewalks and my driveway, piled up on the yard was just about, up to my chest. And I'm 6 foot. So that's probably about 4.5 feet of snow that had accumulated over the last several months. In fact, it's funny because just not too long ago, I'm going to say 3 to 4 weeks ago, we got dumped on for a couple of days with a bunch of snow. It was the last snowfall that we had, at least significant snowfall that we had. But what the weather people were saying was that we were on par to have the second or third highest snowfall at almost 40 inches of accumulation. Interestingly enough, I could not find the actual number, but as the snow was falling one evening, I saw a local newspaper report that said that we had 38 inches at that time, and it was still snowing. So I'm sure that we got 40 inches or more, but I don't know the actual number. But anyway, the highest snowfall where I live was set in 1919 at 49.5 inches. So, another foot and we would have broken a record. So, very interesting, considering that my area has not had a lot of snow in the last, I want to say 5 years. It's been relatively dry winters that we've had. So, having this much snow was different and not very welcome, in my opinion. In fact, my wife and I would grumble at my wife because I'd go up to her all surly and growl that we're getting snow today, and she would sometimes try to suppress a gleeful smile because she loves snow. They say opposites attract, and that's very much the case between me and my wife. But I love her. Besides the weather, more recently, within a couple weeks ago, we traveled south to see my daughter and spent some time with her and her family because her birthday just happened last week. And so we went down. It was the week before that we went down. Just happened to be a good time for everybody. And more importantly, well, not more importantly, just as important, we had an opportunity to babysit our granddaughter, Madison. That's the wrong granddaughter. Hadley, she's, what will she be? She'll be 2 years old this summer. Boy, I can't keep track of all this stuff. But anyway, so we had an opportunity to babysit her on the Friday that we were down there all day because one of the gifts that we gave my daughter and her husband was to go to a concert that night. That was a Christmas gift that we gave her. And so she was going to go to that, but we were offered the opportunity to babysit Hadley. And so we got to keep her home from daycare and watch her all day long, which was just delightful. I love that little girl so much. And so, that was really neat. And then we got to spend the weekend with my daughter celebrating her birthday. And we basically just ate out a lot. That was that was our little birthday getaway with my kid. But it was all fun. We had a lot of fun. Oh, we went out for a bike ride. This was still, we had cold temperatures here at home, still snow on the ground. But down south, where my daughter lives, near the Boise area, they were in the low to mid 50s. And so my daughter just recently got a new bicycle. Her husband bought her one for her birthday. So we had talked about going for a little bicycle ride, and we were supposed to take Hadley with us. And unfortunately, we didn't do that because she was napping at the time, and we had a very small window of opportunity to go do this. So my daughter and I and her husband hopped on some bikes, and we went for a little ride, which was really great because I had not been riding for a long while on my own bike. Getting that actually ready for the spring so I can go out riding. But I need to figure out something because I messed up the front derailleur and I can't get my bike to shift to the larger spoke thingy majig, whatever that's called. I can get it to go to the smaller and the middle one, but not no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. It's can't get it to shift into third on the front part. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, we had a lot of fun doing that. Although I have to say that the bike that my son-in-law gave me to ride had these really what do they call them there? Tubeless wheels to prevent punctures. Apparently, where he rides this bike, normally he gets a lot of flat tires, and so he put on these tubeless tires. And boy, I felt every little bump. And by the time I was done, my wrists were just aching from all the bumps and stuff. It sucks getting old. Anyway, but then so yeah. Now fast forward a little bit. It's a week later, just about, and actually no, it's just a few days after that. After we get home, and my daughter texts me, or she mentioned to me on the phone. Anyway, she told me that Hadley was asking where was Grandpa? Where did Grandpa go? And then, which I was just tickled pink about. Anytime we try to get Hadley to say Grandpa or Grandma, she doesn't. When she's asked to do it, she doesn't do it. But apparently she's now starting to mention us when we're not there, which, whatever, I'll take it. But then it's a good thing I decided to wait to record this Gutters episode, because last night my daughter sent me a video of Hadley saying, "Where's Grandpa?" Which, boy, that was very cool. So anyway, I guess enough talk about my granddaughter. Although, if you're going to listen to these Gutters episodes, you're going to get some of that stuff on occasion, if not every episode. Just fair warning. Okay, so just a few entertainment type stuff to recommend to you. The first of which is a podcast that I listen to. It's I think it was a 6 or 8 episode, something like that. It's called Conviction. It was ostensibly about basically a kid versus cops story, where this kid was, depending on your viewpoint, was falsely accused of a crime he did not commit. And I think he was convicted. I'm pretty sure he was. Well, yeah, it's called Conviction. So he was convicted. But really what the story turned out to be was about this flamboyant private investigator that the family was able to convince to help them, and turned into an examination of his unusual tactics and the ramifications of those tactics on various cases, not just the main one that the show was about. I highly recommend it. It was, if you're into, well, good storytelling, this was a good one. But also just kind of crime stories, I guess. But this is a little different than the usual crime story type stuff. The other podcast I want to recommend as well is from the same people that does the Inglorious Trexperts podcast, which I have mentioned here before. This is actually the podcast that preceded the Inglorious Trexperts, and this is called the 430 Movie Podcast. And so, like I said, it's from the same. A few of the people that are on Inglorious Trexperts are also on this episode, but they also bring in other people, so it's kind of like a round table thing. And what they do is they talk about in their youth there was the 430 movie, where they would this station where they grew up would show a movie every weekday at 4:30, and they themed it. So Alien Invasion Week or Gangster Movie Week, or whatever. And so what these guys are doing is the same kind of thing. They're programming the week, Monday through Friday, what these movies would be based on the theme that they've picked. But they have all of the years of movies that they've grown up watching and have watched over the years as they've gotten older. So they'll bring in a lot of different things from bring in a lot of recent movies, as well as a lot of old movies, because they're movie buffs, and this is what they like to talk about. But I really enjoy, just like with the Inglorious Trexperts, I really enjoy the camaraderie, the knowledge that they bring, the expertise. And so really what it does is this podcast, it makes me want to watch a bunch of old movies, which is not a bad thing. And speaking of podcasts, if I may toot my own horn, I did put this out on Twitter when it happened back in February, but the website FeedSpot, surprisingly, but I will take it, chose my show as a top 25 comic book podcast to listen to in 2019, which I thought was very cool. Really made my month, at the very least. So, I'll take it. I'll take any accolades. So anyway, moving on. Some movies that I recently have seen. First of all, we went to see, I think this is the first movie that we saw this year so far at the theater. I think so anyway. This is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. And if you are a fan of the How to Train Your Dragon movies, this was a wonderful ending to the story. So, and quite honestly, I'm hard pressed to think of a more perfect trilogy. It's just wonderful, heartwarming, character, family friendly movie. I don't know what else to say. If you haven't watched How to Train Your Dragon, the all three of the movies, you really should. I love the character arc of the main character, Hiccup, and all of the supporting characters. It was just a delight to see how it ended up. I don't want to spoil it, but man, that ending to that last movie just broke me. It was so wonderful. So I highly recommend you go watch that if you have not. We also, this is very timely. This being Monday, the family and I went to see Captain Marvel, the new Marvel Cinematic Universe movie, which we all really enjoyed. It was very cool to see this new character. Well, new to the Marvel Universe, Cinematic Universe anyway. It was nice to see a female-driven movie as well. I thought Brie Larson did a fine job, but quite honestly, Samuel L. Jackson kind of stole the show, I think, a little bit anyway. And boy, speaking of Samuel L. Jackson, what they can do with this de-aging technology these days is just amazing. And you could see it with him, especially. He looked great. He looked like he did, 20, 30 years ago. And they also did a little bit of that with another character that I won't say just in case. I don't think it's a spoiler to mention this. Anyway, they did a good job on that. I will also say that, I liked how they took, because if you've seen the trailer, that the Skrulls are in it. And I really enjoyed how they portrayed this set of Skrulls. I'll just put it that way. It was unexpected, and I liked how it changed things up a bit or at least altered our expectations. Or subverted, I should say, our expectations. I know that I listened to I think 2 or 3 other podcasts that I normally listen to who did their own spotlight on the Captain Marvel movie. And I think 2 of the 3 at least did not particularly care for that change with the Skrulls, but to each their own. I thought it was really cool. So we'll see what happens in the future. But I'm really looking forward to seeing Captain Marvel in the next Avengers movie. And then we came home and that night, and we ended up watching Ready Player One again. I did not plan to watch it. I was going to sit there with the family while my wife watched it for the first time. And then I was going to work on some stuff for the podcast. But I just got sucked in. I know a lot of people have trouble with Ready Player One. But I don't. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And then we watched, and because we had just bought the day before, we went grocery shopping. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the Blu-ray is available for purchase now, and so I got it. And so after we watched Ready Player One, we popped that in because no one else in the family has seen that yet. I went to see that when it was released. I went with my buddy Travis and Greg, and so this is the first time that the family had seen this one. And again, I loved that movie. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that again with the extended stuff thrown in too, because I heard there was basically another. I don't want to say. I was going to say another half an hour of movie, but I have no idea how many more minutes it is. But all I know is that there's a lot more stuff that they cut out of the movie that they put in on the Blu-ray, so we could see all the stuff that they were thinking about doing, or they did do, but they took out. Whatever. I'm gonna one of these days soon. I'm gonna sit down and watch that too. And then finally, I just want to talk about this. I went to see. I don't talk about music a lot because I don't listen to a lot of music. I actually listen to a lot of podcasts. That's my main audio entertainment. But there is a particular artist, one of the few who I really love. I love his music, and he was coming, less than 2 hours away from where I live. He was playing a casino, and like I said, it was less than 2 hours away, and so my wife and I we bought tickets like, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, and so it finally arrived here in March, and so we went, and I had the best time. It was one of those days where I was at work, and I was just I don't know, I didn't sleep well the night before or something. Anyway, I was bone tired. I was just really tired. And we got off work early, drove up to where the casino was, and I was ready, quite honestly, to just crawl in bed and just go to sleep. And I was almost regretting the fact that we were going. But then we got there and got sat down. I was just getting excited, to see this artist perform. And then he came out and just gave the best show I've ever seen him do. Now I've only seen this person three times now. It was only twice before that I saw him live. And this was by far the best. And I left so energized and happy. I was so happy during that performance. And I haven't mentioned who this artist is. You're probably going, what the heck is he talking about? I have, since I was a young teenager, I have been a huge fan of Rick Springfield. Yes, the Jesse's Girl guy, the soap opera actor. He's just an amazing singer-songwriter. I know there's people out there probably listening to this going, no way. To which I say, you don't know what you're talking about. The guy is great. His music's great. He, on the other hand, if you have heard about some things that he's done and gone through, maybe not the best human being on the planet, but he's trying. But I really, really like his music, and he really delivered on this concert, because he not only did his, he of course did Jesse's Girl. That's how he closed out the concert, but he kind of did a nice blend of really old stuff from the 80s, some stuff from the early 90s that he did, up to now, where he just released an album around Christmas time last year, and he played a few songs from that. But really, the one of the best things he did was a song off of an album called Rocket Science, as well as something from his Rock of Life CD from 1988, I think it was. It was a song. It's called "World Start Turning," and it's one of my favorites of his. But it's a song that he did that night that he said that he had not performed live before, and for whatever reason he did. And it's a song about him dealing with depression, and how the birth of his first son saved him. And by the end of the song, when he got done, he was wiping tears off of his face, and I just really thought that was really cool, to see him get so into what he's doing and the stories he's telling, and I really dug it. So I guess this is my recommendation. If you ever have a chance to see Rick Springfield, you should go do that. I certainly will. Okay, I think that's it. There's nothing else, I don't believe, at least not for now. So thanks for listening. I really appreciate it. If you have any kind of feedback about anything that I've talked about, or have any questions for me, You can always send those to me at longboxreview@gmail.com. And I would appreciate that very much. Otherwise, I will talk to you very soon. Bye-bye.